Luke Bryan is a country music superstar who is known for hits such as Country Girl, Shake It For Me, and his role as a judge on American Idol. He has been a fan favorite in upstate New York for a long time, particularly in the Saratoga Springs area, where he has performed multiple shows at the Saratoga Performing Arts Center, SPAC, that were completely sold out. The locals have been hearing recurrent speculations about whether or not Luke Bryan owns a property on the scenic Sacandaga Lake because of his frequent visits and his loud appreciation for the place over the years. A photograph that was posted on social media in July 2025 depicting a private helicopter landing close to Sinclair Point on Sacandaga Lake caused a stir, with some people asserting that the photograph belonged to the country music singer. This led to the question gaining steam. To what extent, however, does the conjecture have any basis in reality, or is it merely the wishful thinking of fans who are hoping to see Bryan in their own backyard? As we delve deeper into the mystery, let's investigate the evidence, the rumors, and the truth about Luke Bryan's relationship to Sacandaga Lake. It was the helicopter that got everything started. On July 4, 2025, a local resident named Deborah Wright uploaded a photo to the Great Sacandaga Lake Live Facebook group that showed a Robinson R-44 helicopter with a United States of America motif landing on Sacandaga Lake. This served as the initial spark that caused the buzz. Her caption, which said, "Someone had an impressive mode of transportation for their lake visit," immediately generated speculation among the other people. Residents in the area, who are aware of Bryan's fondness for the region of upstate New York, speculated that the chopper belonged to the singer. Some of them claimed that Bryan has been seen on the lake on multiple occasions and even constructed a house there. The suspicions were exacerbated by the high-end price tag of the helicopter, which ranged from $350,000 to $720,000, as well as the fact that Bryan, who is said to have a net worth of $160 million, could surely afford such a luxury. The conversation was further amplified by social media posts on X, in which individuals mentioned Bryan's fondness for lakes and his history of liking the region while performing at SPAC. Luke Bryan has been spotted in the Sacandaga area before, and I'm willing to guess that the helicopter in question is his. Another individual asserted, "I've heard that he has a place close to Sinclair Point. It makes perfect sense, he really enjoys the atmosphere up here." However, despite the fact that the excitement was great, there was no specific evidence that clearly linked the helicopter to Bryan, and the stories continued to be nothing more than rumors. Properties that are known to Luke Bryan. An investigation into Bryan's reported real estate holdings is something that should be done in order to get to the bottom of the Sacandaga Lake speculation. According to a number of different reports, Bryan primarily divides his time between two properties: a beachfront mansion in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida, which is known as Snowman, and a farm in Williamson County, Tennessee, which is located close to Nashville and spans an area of 150 acres. A main house that is 10,000 square feet in size, a guest house that is 1,800 square feet in size, and a barn that is 7,000 square feet in size that housing rescue animals are all aspects of the Nashville farm that was named after Bryan's sister Kelly, who passed away. This is the location where Bryan, his wife Caroline Boyer, and their two sons, Beau and Tate, spend the most of their time collectively. Located in Florida, the beach home is a 4-story structure that spans 4,645 square feet and features 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and 95 feet of Gulf waterfront. The property was purchased in 2013 for a total price of $2.5 million. The mansion, which was given the name Snowman in honor of Bryan's late brother Chris, was used as a vacation home for the family until it was put up for sale in 2022 for the price of $18 million. Following a number of price reductions, it was finally purchased by a buyer in August 2024 for $12.95 million, which seems to indicate that Bryan may be leaving the Florida real estate market. In the property records or incredible stories, there is no indication that Bryan has a residence in the state of New York, let alone one that is located on Sacandaga Lake. This is the connection to Sacandaga Lake. The question is, where did the rumors about Sacandaga Lake originate? Unquestionably, Bryan has a link to the region of upstate New York. Multiple times, he has performed at Saratoga Springs Performance Center, SPAC, including a remarkable return in August 2022. Residents of the area have stated that they have seen him around town during these occasions, taking pleasure in the natural beauty and laid-back atmosphere of the place. According to a Google search result from 2023, there was an odd report that arose, which stated that Bryan celebrated his 40th birthday in 2016 at a vacation cottage on Sacandaga Lake that was promoted as a rental property that cost $1,500 per night. This entry, on the other hand, does not contain any proof, and there is no reliable source that verifies Bryan's presence there. The misconception may have arisen as a result of a mix-up with Lake Sinclair in Georgia, which is a body of water that Bryan is known to frequent and which carries a name that is similar to Sinclair Point on Sacandaga Lake. The fact that Sacandaga is located in close proximity to the Adirondack Mountains and has pristine waters makes it an ideal location for a celebrity hideaway. Bryan's passion for lakes, fishing, and other outdoor sports falls in line with Sacandaga's attraction. These ties, however, continue to be on the verge of speculation, because there are no property records or first-hand accounts from Bryan. Perspectives from the community and a wishful thinking. The residents of Sacandaga Lake are eager to take Bryan under their wing and make him their own. Because of its location in the Adirondacks, the lake is a shelter for wealthy homeowners, as seen by the presence of properties that are worth multiple millions of dollars around its borders. The concept that a country music celebrity like Bryan would own a secluded retreat is consistent with the profile of the area, and the fact that he is a guy who is grounded in reality offers him a believable connection to the town. The posts mirror this enthusiasm, with individuals sharing accounts of purported sightings at local marinas or bars. However, none of the posts give visual evidence or precise information. Skeptics, on the other hand, point out that Bryan's hectic schedule, which includes judging American Idol, traveling, and running businesses, such as his 32-bridge food plus drink bar in Nashville, leaves him with very little time to maintain a third home. As a result of his recent sale of the mansion in Florida, it appears that he is consolidating his real estate holdings and concentrating on his farm in Tennessee. In addition, Bryan has never made any public mention to Sacandaga Lake, in contrast to the several times he has mentioned Lake Sinclair or his beach house in Florida. Considerations based on the evidence. At the moment, there is no reliable information to suggest that Luke Bryan is the owner of a residence on Sacandaga Lake. Although it is intriguing, the helicopter sighting does not provide any clear evidence that the singer is involved, and it seems that the local tales are more likely to be driven by his affection for upstate New York than by property records. There is a lot of misunderstanding because of the mix-up with Lake Sinclair and the rental listing that has not been verified, but these things do not hold up under investigation. The properties that Bryan has identified as being his principal residences are located in Tennessee and Florida. The recent real estate transactions that Bryan has made indicate that he is simplifying rather than extending his portfolio. When all is said and done, Bryan's fondness for the area ensures that the door of opportunity remains open. It is clear that he will be returning to the region because his country song came on tour in 2025 will make stops in Syracuse and Darien Center, both located in the state of New York. It is possible that fans who are wanting to see him on Sacandaga Lake will continue to have optimism, especially considering his passion for fishing and relaxing by the lake. For the time being, however, the notion that Bryan has a home there continues to be a delightful suggestion that has not been verified. Love for upstate New York as expressed by a star. It is true that Bryan has a connection to the region of upstate New York, regardless of whether or not he has a property on Sacandaga Lake. His performances at SPAC, such as the one that is slated to take place at the Pavilion at Star Lake on August 2, 2025, demonstrate his dedication to providing fans in the region with hours of entertainment. Because his easygoing and outdoorsy way of life is congruent with the Adirondack ethos, the people who live there have every reason to feel a connection to him. Luke Bryan does not need to purchase a property here in order to be considered one of us. He is already a part of the vibe, as stated by one of the users.